Yo, what's going on? Back again. It's the Braap man. Today we're going to talk about what to look for when buying a used motorcycle. And there's quite a few things. I'm sure I'll probably forget some, but the main thing you want to look at is check the engine. When you go look at it, make sure there's no cracks on the casing. Look underneath, make sure there's no cracks on your casing. That's the first thing you want to look at. And of course, check the frame rails underneath, make sure they're not really bashed up really bad. So that's the first thing you want to look at is this engine, because that's the most expensive thing on this bike, is the motor. So give this a good look over, check the oil, but definitely make sure that there is no cracks on your casing, because engines are expensive and casings are expensive. And you always want to check by the gear shifter, make sure there's no cracks down here, because when these bikes drop, especially dirt bikes, these will bend and crack cases, and the shift linkage that goes in the spline, that'll break the cases too. So folks, check your engine first, check the cases. When you first come out to look at a bike, check the engine, make sure there's no major leaks or anything. A little bit of leaks around here, like the base gasket, see that? See how clean that is? See how nice that is? But if you have a little leak here, it's nothing crazy. All right, you can fix that. As long as the motor runs good, gaskets are fixable. So don't worry about too much about minor leaks, okay? Next thing, cold start on a 4-stroke, a 4-cycle engine, make sure you have no smoke coming out of the exhaust. So you want to, when you start this bike, you don't want to see any blue or white smoke come out at all. You don't want to see nothing. If it's a little bit and it clears up, could be valve guides, could be, you never know what you're getting into. It could be piston rings, you just don't know. But if it's burning a lot of oil, then, be careful, because it could be, you might need an engine rebuild. And 4-cycle engines cost a lot of money to replace and rebuild, to do a rebuild, because you have timing chains and valves, and you got a lot going on in here. 2-stroke, it's easy. Big difference in engines. So, but the first thing you want to do is start the bike up, make sure there's no blue or white smoke coming out. If it's a little bit at first and it clears up, it might not be too bad, but it depends on the price you're paying. If you're getting it cheap, then it's cheap, but if you're paying a lot of money, then watch out for that. All right, the next thing, if you check the motor out, just make sure the engine's not knocking, tapping or anything on a 4-cycle. A 2-stroke is noisy, it's normal, but some engine noise is normal, but as long as it's not excessive. So anyway, check your, what else you want to check is your brakes. Just give it a slight little pull. Just make sure they work. Just make sure you don't have to go all the way, pull this, you don't want this lever to have to go all the way back. Check your brakes, make sure they have a nice feel to it, they're firm. And always check the clutch. Take it for a test drive if you can, make sure the clutch isn't slipping. That's the next thing you want to check is the clutch, which again, that's replaceable. But you always want to check your brakes, check your pads. See your pads down there? Got brake pads in there. You got the pad, see the pad in there on the inside? Make sure you have at least 50% pad left. Some people sell you bikes and they'll be grinding into the rotors. So it means they haven't been taking care of the bike. So always check your brake pads. And then when you hit the back brakes, make sure it don't go all the way down to the floor. Like, you don't want this pedal to go super low. See how close that is? You don't want far travel. When you hit these brakes, you don't want far travel. You want close travel, just like that. See how close that is? You don't want it to come all the way back. So check the fluid in the master cylinder. There's a window here. Sometimes they're foggy and you can't see in, but like this bike, you can't really see in because the sun faded the plastic. So check that. And then you want to check your bearings, your wheel bearings. Like, go like this, shake the wheel, make sure there's no play. Go back and forth like this. See how solid that is? You don't hear any noise? So put your hand on the top and go like that. You'll feel it. No play. So your bearings are good. Do the same thing with the back. Swing arms nice and solid, no clunks. Wheel bearings solid, no clunks. That's what you want, folks. Okay, so check that. Check all your bearings. All right, and next thing you want to check is your sprocket. See the sprocket teeth? See how high they come up? That's a healthy sprocket. See how they're not like bent, like they're not like this? You don't want a sprocket teeth like that or like this. You want to make sure they're straight and they're high like that. That's a good sprocket. Chain's nice and tight. It's not real loose. Well, you don't want it super tight, but you want a little bit of play like that. You don't want it to be super tight. So check your chain, check your sprockets. That's another thing. And then tires are replaceable. You're never really going to buy a used motorcycle, a dirt bike with brand new tires, because that's kind of point, like no one's really going to slap on brand new tires when they sell it. So that's a given. You're going to have to replace tires. So wear and tear items are replaceable. You can do brake pads and stuff, that's easy, but the main thing is you want to check is that engine. That's the most expensive part of the bike. And then of course you want to check to make sure your forks aren't twisted or bent, and you can sit on it like this and get a nice, see that, nice straight angle. So make sure all that's straight. Come to the front of the bike, line it, straighten the wheel out and make sure everything's nice and straight. Come to the back, make sure the back fender is lined up nice and straight with the back wheel. See that? That's how you know your subframe's not bent. Sometimes your subframe can be bent sideways, and then you know the bike was hammered. It got in a bad accident. It could have fell off a cliff, whatever. But if your subframe's bent and your subframe isn't replaceable, see how there's no bolts here? So you can't replace the subframe. Some subframes are replaceable. They unbolt and you can take them off, but there's two pieces. But most of these Hondas and stuff, they don't have a two-piece subframe. Like the KX 500, it's covered, but that has a two-piece subframe, but these bikes don't. See how it's one piece? So that's what you want to look for when buying a bike, is always check the engine. And then if it's a kickstart, make sure the splines are grabbing. See that? See how it grabs real nice? Doesn't like fall down. So always check your kickstart, make sure it doesn't, you know, there's no excessive slippage in the kickstart. So when you go out to check a bike, make sure the kickstart grabs right away when you kick, because you can have problems with the spline and you got to take the motor apart, and it gets time consuming, pricey, whatever, if you have to bring it to someone, if you don't fix your own stuff. So I'm just trying to help you guys out what to look for when buying a bike. Okay, this goes for even street bikes too. And street bikes, of course, you want to check the fairings and make sure they're nice and tight and sturdy. There's no broken clips, or you know, that stuff could, again, that stuff can be fixed, but it depends on the price. If you're getting a good deal, you're getting a good deal, and then it makes up for what you're paying for, you know. But if you're paying a lot of money, then just be careful. So these are many things that you can watch out for when buying a bike. Okay, folks? So I've seen a lot of people get burned. And then if it's a street bike too, always check the title. Check your VIN number, match it up to the on the frame. So your VIN number will always be on the right side of the neck. See that? You got the VIN number. So always check the last 5 digits is good, you know. But check the VIN number, make sure there's nothing scratched on there or scuffed. That means we're hiding something. If you go out and buy a bike and you can't find a VIN number on it at all, even a dirt bike, don't buy it, because if the VIN number is missing, that's not good. If the VIN number's there, then even if you don't have a title, if it's a dirt bike and you're going to use it off-road, it's not a big deal. But if a VIN number is scratched off or scraped, it's not there, it's missing, it's not a good sign. And if it's a dirt bike, it's possible that the frame could have been painted and it could be covered and you might not see it. But anyway, always check the VIN number, check the title, make sure everything matches up, you know. So again, folks, I'm just trying to help you out. And then if you're buying a dirt bike and it's a metal gas tank, always check to make sure there's no rust in the gas tank. So that's another thing you want to watch out for. So open the tank up, check the fuel tank. Check the fuel tank here and look inside. See how clean that is in there? I mean, I don't know if you can see, but it's clean. So that's what you want. You want to see a clean gas tank in there. You don't want to see rot or rust, because if you're buying an old motorcycle and then you got like rust in there and stuff, and it gets all, sorry, I'm trying to get in there so you can see, but I don't know if you can. Can you see in there? Yeah, see, it's nice and clean. Basically, you want to see nice clean metal in there. That's what you want to see, nice clean metal, no rust. So this gas tank's in good shape. Just check for rust on the metal gas tanks on older bikes, because if you got metal floating around in there and rust, it's all flaky, then you're getting it in your fuel, it's going to get in your carburetor, it's going to be a pain in the butt. And these gas tanks are expensive on these bikes, especially metal ones. So just be careful on that. So this is just what to look for on a bike. And yeah, those are the main things. There's that engine. First thing you look for, first thing you check out is the engine. First thing, because people get excited, they see the bike, they go, oh, and they buy it, they get it home, the engine's got cracks on the case underneath, and it's just busted up, you know. So just pay attention to that, you know. And check for frame rust. Make sure there's no serious rust on the frame. Surface rust, a little bit like this, is repairable. You can fix all this as long as there's not any, like, you know, major rot. And another thing you want to check is your fork seals. See this? You got a leaking fork seal on this side. See that? So I bought this bike knowing it had a leaky fork seal. But again, this is fixable. So check your fork seals, and if it's leaking like this, see that? That means you need a fork seal replaced. You'll notice that it'll be dripping. See that? See that? That's a leaky fork seal. So this fork seal needs to be replaced. And see this one? Nice and dry. So you got nice dry fork seals. And I'll do another video on what to look for when buying an ATV. But for now, this is a motorcycle and a street bike. Basically retains for the same thing, and a two-stroke. But a two-stroke, it's going to smoke when you first start it, because it's a two-cycle, it's gas and oil mix. So gas and oil mix, it's always going to smoke on a two-stroke bike, like a Yamaha Blaster and a KX 500. That's always going to smoke, because it's gas and oil mix. Smoke out the exhaust is normal. But on a four-cycle engine, you don't want to see any smoke come out. A little bit is okay, and if it clears off, some bikes do burn oil. But if it's a lot and it keeps smoking, you're gonna have to pull the engine apart, and it gets costly. So this is just what to look for when buying a bike. I'm sure I'm forgetting a couple things, but check the suspension and everything. Sit on it, make sure it rebounds nice. You know, if you sit on it, it doesn't kind of rebound, it kind of just goes flat and it feels sloppy, then the suspension's most likely beat. So you don't want to buy a bike with beat suspension. But the main thing is, like I said, check all the you know, all your bearings, all your wheel bearings, everything. Just give it a good shake like that. Check your sprockets, your chain, and then you want to go through the gears, of course. I forgot about that. You want to check your gears, make sure go through first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, or just fifth, whatever. If it's a 6-speed or a 5-speed, check all the gears, make sure they shift nice and smooth, and make sure you have no missing gears, because sometimes you can go up to third or go to second, there'll be nothing there. You can have a total missing gear. So always check your gears. If you don't know how to ride, bring someone with you that knows how to ride, that they can shift through the gears and make sure every gear works. So you want to check all the gears and everything. And then like I said, the fuel tank, make sure your handlebars are nice and straight too. You know, sit on it. Check your cables. You can hear that noise when I pull that in. Hear that noise? This clutch cable's going bad. See in there? I don't know if you can see, but hold on, let me see if I can zoom in. This cable, the cable wire is splitting. I don't know if you can take a look in there. You can see that. Hear that noise? I don't know if I can get the camera in there. But Hear that? So this clutch cable is going bad. It's, make sure you don't hear any like crackling noises. If you hear a crackling noise in the cable, that means you got to replace the cable, and this one's gonna need to be replaced. So I could be out on a trail, I can go to pull this clutch cable in, and the clutch cable can just snap on me. Then I don't have a clutch. Hear that? It's making that noise. So the clutch cable needs to be replaced on this. And I already knew that already, but I'm just showing you folks what to look for. Check your lights, turn signals. When you turn these on, turn the bike on, make sure your turn signals work. See, make sure they work. Make sure your lights work, high and low beam. Check your horn. Check the horn. Hit the left blinker on, check the left blinkers. Front and back. Make sure they all work. Same with the right. Just check all your signals. Make sure all your signals work, folks. And check the oil too. So when you first go up to the bike, like I said, check the engine over. Check for cracks on the casing. Check for major leaks. If you have a base gasket leak, it's not a big deal. You can take care of that. If it's a little seepage down here, a little seepage here, you can fix that. Valve cover, gasket, you can fix that. That's all fixable. Just make sure the engine runs healthy. It's not knocking or making a high unusual noise. Normal noise is okay, like just, you know, you hear the chain in there. Some engines are noisy. Yamaha makes a noisy 4-stroke engine. So it depends on what model, but like I said, just check all that out. And yeah, just go through the bike and check, make sure there's no cracks on the cases. That's going to get expensive, so you want to make sure your engine's okay, because this is the most expensive part of the bike, is the engine. These engines now go for $1,500 and up for a used one. If you're lucky, sometimes you'll spend $2,500 for an engine. Seems like the price of motorcycle engines have gone up, so just check all that out and check your oil and make sure it's not like black, like really dark. You always want to make sure it's got like a gold color. See that, how it's like, see that has like a goldish color to it. Sorry, zoom in a little bit. See how it's like a goldish, see that? You want your oil to look like that, and make sure it's, you know, between the half, make sure it's between half and full at its lowest. But make sure it's, you know, topped off, of course. But anyway, just make sure your oil isn't like totally black, because I'd be worried, because they could have been riding that bike for years on nasty, dirty oil. So check your oil and everything. You know, just those are some things. I'm sure I'm probably forgetting some things, but for now, this is what I can think of, and I'll come back with another video if I think of anything. And check all your bolts too. Make sure your seat's tight. You know, you don't want your seat falling off when you're riding down the road, and you know, you don't want to hit a bump and then all your stuff starts falling apart. You know, my friend bought a bike one time, and he went down the road, and then all of a sudden, like, parts were just falling off. The seat like came loose, and like he's like on the road, and he's like, oh man, he's like, my seat just came off. And it was crazy. It was a long time ago, but I remember that. And he was riding, and his freaking seat like literally came off when he was riding down the road. So somebody Mickey Moused something. When you go and look at a bike, man, just make sure it's not Mickey Mouse to death, because a lot of people Mickey Mouse a lot of crap. So they'll go full-blown Mickey Mouse on you, man. They'll use like some bolts from Walmart. You know, they'll, you know, like tap screws, metal screws to hold on to plastics. I mean, I've seen some crazy stuff, you know. So if it's not all rigged up, then I would buy it. But if it's totally rigged, man, and you got like duct tape holding the gas tank on and the seat on and all that, avoid it. Don't even bother with it. But this is just some things to look for. So like and subscribe. I'll be back soon. Peace and hair grease. See y'all later. XR 650L, baby. Like and subscribe. See you guys. Peace and hair grease.